I bought a brand new playfield for World Cup Soccer. I bought it from CPR. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you first just look at it, it's stunning. In fact, I've showed it before where I was like, man, this playfield is fantastic, and it does. Problem is, I was getting ready to start populating it, all excited, ready to throw in the T-nuts and get started. And I ran my hand across it. And when I did, I felt something that didn't feel right. Because it didn't feel smooth. I felt smooth and then I caught a catch. Like, what is that? And so I started looking, and I don't know if an insert has shifted. I don't know necessarily think it's loose, but it's moved in some way or shrunk or something because it's cracked the clear coat in a couple of spots. A couple of inserts have done this. And so I just wasn't sure how to handle it. I checked on their website and they're out of playfields as far as World Cup Soccer. You know, if anybody knows, they just had that sale they had. They sold a ton of stuff off. In fact, I grabbed a mirrored back glass for World Cup Soccer, real cheap. So hopefully it'll be really nice. But anyway, this playfield is just, it makes me mad because it's so gorgeous. And then I've got these problems here, but they're right in the center of the playfield.
I say overall, it's nice though. I'm not going to complain, but that's what got me going is I was rubbing my hand on here going, man, this thing's so nice. I was all excited because I was fixing to actually start putting T-nuts in it. And I ran my hand right here and all of a sudden I was like, hey, what is that? I feel something. So now let me come over here and zoom in. You hear that? There we go. Maybe I can zoom in a little better that way. Yeah, see right here? In fact, I can feel that crack from here all the way around to there. You can see it there really good. All right, let's come up here and feel, because that's where I felt it next. Right there. Now that one's not as bad. There we go. Up here, I don't have much of that. Everything up here seems to be really good. So it's mainly just right here in this area, which of course that's the problem when you're playing the game. This is so much of your focus and it's already gonna be all messed up in just a short matter of time if I leave it like this. I did think about putting Mylar and having a piece of Mylar cut to fit like right here and come around, but it's like, I don't want Mylar on there. This is a clear-coated playfield, so.
I have my answer of what I'm gonna do with it. And will tell you that answer comes from Christopher Hutchins at HEP. Not him directly, even though I've reached out to him many times and he's been very gracious and has always given me great advice and has been very helpful. He's awesome to the pinball community. But no, from watching his videos, when I remembered this problem, I had this problem, I was thinking, and all of a sudden I remembered that he was doing a Captain Fantastic. And in that, he had this similar problem. It might have even been a CPR playfield, it might have been a Mirko, I don't remember which one, but he had a very similar problem. And he fixed it. And so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do what he did. And even though I think mine actually isn't near as traumatic as what he had, so I'm hoping this will be a much easier fix. So, which the fix is, long story short, is I've gotta sand it and flatten it back out, which is pretty flat, but I gotta flatten it out, take those two, where those cracks are, see kind of what's there. I don't know what's exactly there, but I'm gonna need to fill those back in either with some clear or I can use some epoxy. That's what he used. He used some JV Weld clear epoxy to fill in the space, the gaps, and so I can do that if when I sand it down, if there's cracks, have gaps, I can add to it. And then from there, sand that spot, and then go re-clear it.
clear coat number 1. That's 1 coat. About 4 minutes, I'm gonna do the second coat, and that should be the last coat. And that should solve this problem, because this is the one that I got from CPR. So this should solve that problem, because after I sanded it, I didn't get to show y'all, but because I'm rushing to beat the light here. But it sanded out, and that was, those spots disappeared, those little crack feeling I could feel were gone. And so now this is filled up nicely. So one more good coat. The wind is kind of down. Sorry for all the mess. I'm working on that, trying to finish up that car. Any rate, so I got one more coat, about a coat and a half, and this thing's done, and that'll help keep me moving along. This has held me up long enough. I don't have time to be held up no more. I've got stuff to get done. All right, here it is, all done and cleared. 2.5 coats, kind of like what's recommended on the on Chromax's website. But here it is, all done. Looks beautiful, man. That stuff sprayed and laid down so awesome, man. That will definitely be my new go-to clear. And so, yeah, this thing looks fantastic. I think that all the little blips will now be smooth, so that's okay. It's okay if, you know, around those circles where the soccer ball is, it seems like they always, those inserts, I don't know if they're just too close together or what it is, while they always kind of tend to crack a little around them, but it won't matter because now it's nice and smooth and the ball will roll smooth over it with no problems. This is the original Playfield. I'm fixing to clear it real quick so that I can get it ready for painting here next week. So here goes the clear. All right, CPR Playfield re-cleared. Had some spots I had to go back and add a little bit of clear to that little, some of those little sunken spots, but where those cracks were. But that's gonna feel in nice. So I'll sand that and buff it probably like a couple days from now. I'll sand it and buff it and it'll be done. This one over here is the old one. I cleared it again and it turned out real nice too. Especially after having that out and leaving that out. See, now these are even. I'm not having a problem here catching anymore. So now I'll be able to give this a light sanding, and then I'll be able to go back and touch up paint. Well, touch up paint like that and some other stuff, and then it'll be ready for its final clear. So, man, imagine, I can't believe I did both those in just a matter of 2 hours, but we got it done. Here is the CPR Playfield all re-cleared. That is, had 2 days to cure. And according to the clear coat manufacturer, that's enough time to go ahead and cut and buff. They just don't want you to put wax on it for 120 days. But cutting and buffing it, no problem. So that's what we're gonna do. And then hopefully I'll be able to start building out this thing and show y'all how to reassemble one of these pretty quick. right, here's the finished product. Just to see where it's at. But yeah, it turned out really good. I mean, look at this thing. So I think that's going to be a pretty worthy playfield to go in that cabinet. So, all right, one last look on this video. And then the next one, which will be out pretty dang quick, is going to be me populating this thing because I need to get it populated quick. So I've got a deal already in place for it. So I need to finish it up. That turned out beautiful. I hate that I had to spend all that extra time and effort and money to get it like it should have been when it got to me, but that's all right. I appreciate Christopher Hutchins at help. He's really helped me know how to do these things and correct them. And I can't do it as good as he can, but I think that's turned out pretty dang good there. And I got to give him tons of credit. So, all right, that's it for this video. Next one, assembly.